Hi guys, welcome back to another fragrance video on my channel and thanks so much for tuning in again. Now in today's video I want to talk to you guys about my personal top 10 favorite laundry fresh type of fragrances. Now this is a really interesting one because when most people think of fresh fragrances, what they actually think of are citrus fragrances. However, there is a couple of different fragrances out there that have this kind of fresh laundry type appeal. So they smell like freshly washed clothes, and I think they are really awesome because you can wear them in the office or during the day, like in your usual what you're doing, and even in the summer sometimes, and they will just make you feel like super fresh and just as if you just washed yourself completely. So they are totally non-offensive, super fresh, super elegant, super awesome, clean type fragrances, and I want to give you guys my personal top 10. But before we start, first off, if you're new to this channel and you like fragrances as much as I do, especially niche fragrances, then please subscribe. The button's just below this video, and please leave a comment with your favorite fresh type of fragrance. So if you have any fragrance that you think is super fresh and laundry clean, then please let me know in the comment section down below. And I would like to start off with a German fragrance. Now I don't know if you can get this. I believe they have international shipping on their site. However, here we have a fragrance called Orange Flamingo by a house called, or by the dude called Mark Gebauer. So he's a pretty big YouTube channel in Germany talking about luxury watches like Rolex, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet and all that stuff. And he also sells fragrances, and he has his own fragrance line in his shop. So they are all really awesome. I totally recommend that you check them out. They go for like 200 bucks for 100 mils, so they're not super expensive, but really high quality. The perfumer behind this is Christian Carbonell, which you probably know by the likes of Erba Pura, which he did, and a couple of Kajal fragrances. So he's a pretty big name in the fragrance industry, and he did all of these fragrances. So this one is a fresh one. It's called Orange Flamingo. It has kind of an orangey type of feel. However, it contains mainly, however, to my nose, this is mainly a fresh jasmine type of fragrance, and it really smells like fresh laundry. So like a luxurious, like laundry type of thing. And the good thing is that it's super long lasting. So it's an extrait de parfum concentration. This one has like 50% fragrance oils or something. So really highly concentrated, and it lasts a lifetime. So really, if you spray it on and you use, especially like in the summer, I don't know, like 6 to 7 to 8 sprays of this, it's going to last throughout the day. You're going to smell it in the evening. So it's probably the most long-lasting fresh fragrance that I personally know, and it's totally awesome because this also gets you a lot of compliments. So every time I wear this, I get talked to by guys and girls. What are you wearing? It smells so nice and fresh. So this is probably also the most complimented fragrance on this list, and I can totally recommend it to you. A great value for the price. Next up, I have a significantly more expensive fragrance, and this is called Enigma Wood by Roja Parfums. Kindly, they gifted me this travel size atomizer or discovery atomizer because I used to own Enigma Wood, and I sold it sometime in the past. And by the way, guys, the Eau de Parfum is no longer sold, so they are discontinuing the Eau de Parfum, and they only sell the perfume version, which is this one, which is good because this one is, in my opinion, also the best. Now this is a oud. This is an oud fragrance, which is kind of weird because a fresh fragrance with oud is kind of like, you don't really encounter it that often, but the oud is very well masked in this. So it's mainly a floral fragrance. It has some really nice powdery notes, and actually it has nothing in common with the original Enigma, which was more of a cherry coke type of fragrance. So it smelled like Coca-Cola to me, and this one is completely different. So it's a white floral powdery fragrance. It's really very, very powdery and has some oud underneath. So it smells like fresh laundry, but it has this oudy base, which makes it also super long lasting and kind of oriental as well. And I think it's one of their best in the whole oud lineup, next to amber oud and musk oud in my opinion. So next up we have a new fragrance company called New Notes. The fragrance that I'm talking about is Queen of the Sea. I have it in my cupboard actually. I forgot to get it, but it's actually a really nice fresh laundry type of fragrance because this is an aquatic fragrance. So it has a lot of salty notes, but it also has some white florals or some flowery notes in it. and it has really the nicest scent development of all of the new Notes fragrances, all of which I already tested, so I can give you my word on this, that this is actually the best fragrance of the brand that I know. And yeah, it's a fresh and flowery type of fragrance with a citrus opening, and if it dries down, it becomes more and more floral, which is why I think it's a perfect fresh laundry type of fragrance. Performance is also really nice. You get 50 milliliters of this fragrance for $160, and it's an Italian fragrance house, and I think the fragrance was made by Christian Calabro, who also did like some really nice, I believe, Xerjoff fragrances as well. Next up, we have a new addition to the fragrance world. This is Akragas by the house of Tiziana Terenzi. Now this one really develops in a kind of sun cream type of way. So it starts off with salty notes, really very, very salty and ocean type mineral notes. And then it develops into this sun tan, sun creamy type of way, which I absolutely love. I think it's an awesome, a phenomenal new release in this year, and I think you should totally check it out if you like this kind of, well, laundry type or maybe even aquatic and also suntan like fragrances. Really awesome performance. It has a musky base with woodsy notes underneath, and it has some kind of synthetic notes. They always do kind of have that synthetic note sometimes, but it's also really nice. As well as the next one, which is a little bit more synthetic, but I mean, it's okay. It smells like fresh laundry, so you're allowed to smell kind of synthetic. And this one is called Telea. It is one of their most expensive fragrances, so that Tiziana Terenzi has. However, it is my personal favorite of the Sea Star collection. I think it's a total blast. So the bottle is also really nice. It's a super heavy bottle with a heavy cap and this kind of brass Sea Star on it. It's also like in the next room, so I forgot to bring it with me, but it's an awesome fragrance, super fresh laundry type. And maybe to give you some kind of fragrance notes, yeah, this is mainly a rose based fragrance. So in my opinion, it's really a rose based fragrance, or at least that's the impression that I get from this. And it also apparently has some jasmine, ylang ylang, patchouli, and even some oud in it. So really interesting. And I recently discovered that Paolo Terenzi is really an awesome oud perfumer. So he does really nice things with oud. For example, in Orion, which is a popular Aventus inspired fragrance, there's also oud in the base, which is like totally crazy in my opinion. Next up, we have also a new fragrance by the house of Xerjoff, and this is called 40 Nuts. And you shouldn't confuse it with the 40 Knots fragrance. So 40 knots like in this knot, tie knots kind of thing. Anyways, this one is a Monaco exclusive apparently, and it smells like champagne and also has this kind of fresh laundry type of DNA. Some kind of florals underneath and this champagne note, which is totally awesome. There is only one more fragrance that I know that works with champagne, which is called Azzurro by the house of Roberto Gulini, which is an Italian house as well. But this one is even more on the champagne note, which is really, really awesome. I totally enjoyed this. I had a sample, blasted through it, used it completely, and I totally recommend that you check this out because this is a really nice new fragrance by the house of Xerjoff. Next up from the house of Louis Vuitton comes Imagination or Imagination, however you want to pronounce that. This is one of their most popular, if not the most popular fragrance by this house, and this is an awesome tea-based fragrance. So it is tea and citrus notes, and it has the most luxurious and awesome type of laundry, fresh laundry type of DNA. I totally enjoyed it. It's a super popular summer fragrance, and maybe not for the highest of heat because in my opinion, in the highest of heat, you should maybe go for something like on the beach, which in my opinion is more suited for this like super hot weather. But everything like below 30 degrees Celsius, you can totally use Imagination, and it's like a super long lasting and awesome tea fragrance that I can totally recommend to you. So next up, we also have like California Dream, or maybe also this new one that they have, which is called City of Stars. Yeah, so these two are also kind of laundry fresh type fragrances, however not as popular as the Imagination one. Okay, next up we have Schwartzlose Zeitgeist. This is a German house, and they have a fragrance called Zeitgeist, which is kind of a molecular type fragrance. So this is like a molecule fragrance to me. It mainly consists of, I believe, isoe super as well as some artificial woodsy notes, but it smells so awesome because it's just a very, very woodsy freshness. And I personally use it always when I go to the gym, because I don't really want to go to the gym with like a super strong and really perfumey type of fragrance, because yeah, that's kind of inappropriate in my opinion. So I always use this one because it's super inoffensive and a nice molecular type of fragrance. Okay, next up we have a Guerlain type of fragrance, also something that is in the next room, but it is close to my bed because I use it mainly to spray my bed with it. Now this one needs a little bit of explanation, because usually you have this like higher priced Guerlain fragrances like Tonka Imperial and Cuir Beluga and all that stuff, so the really like $300 type of fragrances. However, they also do have a eau de toilette concentration. So the expensive ones are always eau de parfum, and then they also have an eau de toilette concentration, which is their fabric perfumes. So they promote this as being for your clothes and for your bed, so you can spray your bed with it and it's going to smell nice. And this one in particular is called Eau Secrète, which means like secret water in English, and it's a fragrance with almonds, with orange blossom and white musk, and in my opinion it's more of a green type of DNA. So it's a really fresh and green type of DNA, has some kind of fig note in it, at least I believe it's fig, or it smells like fig to me. And it's a really, really, really nice fragrance, because you can also wear this on your skin, of course, since it's just a fragrance with a lesser concentration that they mainly sell for clothes, but you can also wear it on skin, so they explicitly told me. And I think it's just an awesome fragrance to wear if you want to smell laundry clean. So that's also a very nice fragrance to me. And the final one that I can recommend to you is a very, very particular and interesting one. Now this is called Couleur Primaire, which means primary color in English, and it's by the house of Les Eaux Primordiales. So this is a really niche type of fragrance, because it mainly consists of aldehydes and some kind of artificial notes. And if you smell it, it is probably the archetypal fragrance of fabric softeners. So it even has some kind of really sharp notes. So if you smell it too closely, it's going to be very, very strong and sharp. However, if you smell this on your clothes and this lingers around in the air, it's just going to smell like a fabric softener, basically. So that's really good to have a fabric softener type of fragrance to spray on. And I think it's just a very interesting one, and to me, as I said, it is the archetype of a laundry fresh fragrance. So it's not really a fragrance like the other ones where you have citrus notes and like floral notes and maybe some musky notes, which are basically perfume by themselves, but this one really smells like an artificial fabric softener. Really interesting. I totally recommend you to try this if you haven't already, because it's just an interesting experience. However, I would recommend not spraying too much of this, because it is going to be very intense and very strong. So this is the final one. These fragrances, by the way, were not ranked in a particular order. My personal favorite is the one from Marc Gebauer, which is an awesome fragrance to wear, and super, super, super natural and great compliment getter. However, these are all good, and I totally recommend these 10 fabric softener fragrances to you. So that's about it for this video, guys. If you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment with your favorite fresh fragrance in the comment section down below. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.